I'm sitting right here. I could have remembered to switch the camera over, but I didn't. Okay, I don't know why I am so washed out on this camera today. I'm looking pale. I don't know what's happening, but I will tell you, this Venus retrograde has been messy. That coupled with the fact that I know I went on and on about this last week with Mercury in retrograde too, but this shit is messy. Excuse my language. I know I'm not supposed to cuss in like the first minute of a YouTube video, but God, this is some serious crap going on. It's really messy. And I don't want to tell you like how bad it's been, but let me just say, I got new phones. Yeah. Metaphysical Round Table got a new phone, and I personally got a new iPhone this year. Very excited about it. Very excited about it. And I went from like an iPhone 11 to a 16. You know, that's a pretty big jump there, right? So I was feeling really good about it. But I dropped the phone this weekend. I mean, you know, this is pretty new, okay? This is it's pretty new. I dropped the phone into my dog's water bowl, and it was obviously a complete and total accident. But I mean, the cats knocked it out of my hand. I was so irritated. It was a situation. And then some delightful person in my family that was trying to be helpful, and I love them for it. I do love them for it. Doing my laundry, or just doing laundry in general. Again, I think this is another cat thing. I'm not entirely certain, but I had like headphones sitting on the vanity in the bathroom that had just sat there, and something's going on with my volume. I'm sorry. One of the cats, probably Badger, you know, he's a naughty one. He knocked them off into the laundry. Well, I spent like 2 days looking for these headphones. I was like taking the house apart, going, they've got to be here somewhere. I really need these. These are my work headphones. Okay. So I was already without a work phone for a minute. And they knocked my work headphones off as well. So that was fun. And they got washed. Yeah, they got washed. So I had to order a new pair, and they just got here today. So I'm literally catching up on all my readings for basically 2 days. Basically, all the appointments that I had for Monday, I had to bump and move to Tuesday. And then, I couldn't even take appointments this morning because, I mean, equipment, man. So anyway, that's the situation. That's where I'm at. Hope you guys are doing well. But this is messy. This is really messy. And I'm just not loving it. No. And now it seems like these lights and this camera is just trying to wash me out. Okay. I have to move the cat's food bin because I can't put my feet out and it's making my back hurt. So, all right, let's talk about this. All right. We have some stuff going on as per usual. But the thing is, we have a solar eclipse coming up, and this is the last solar eclipse in the Aries Libra ecliptic for quite a few years. 20-ish years. Because the ecliptic changes about every 18 months. depending on where it hits at that time, at when like south or north node moves, it could be, it could be 2 years, it could be a little less, a little more. But basically, we've had Aries and Libra on the ecliptic since 2023. Now I'm getting to it. I know. With the solar eclipse, I want to tell you this is the important thing with the solar eclipse. When we have a solar eclipse, it's because of a new moon, right? So we have the moon is moving between the Earth and the sun. So we can't, and it depends on where you're at. It depends on what hemisphere you're in, and all that, whether you see a partial or a total like solar eclipse and all that. It doesn't really matter energetically. All right, vibrationally, it doesn't, I mean, it a little bit matters, but it's an eclipse day. So the thing with the solar eclipse is it's time to complete or take care of some unfinished business. It's I see, I have all this written down. Yeah. It's time to really just say, okay, all right, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. I need to complete this before I move forward. I need to clear this out before I can move forward. And honestly, I love that. I love it because this is a 9-year. I don't know if I've mentioned that. At least not in the last 5 minutes, right? I mean, I mention it all the time, but at least not in the last 5 minutes. I haven't mentioned that this is a 9-year. And this is a 9-year. It is definitely a good time for you to go back and take care of that unfinished business. For you to just like shake all of that out and just say, okay, this is where I want to go. This is where I want to move for the future. So in order to move this way into the future and what I truly want for my life, my business, my relationship, whatever, then what I need to do is I need to unpack this baggage. I need to send some of it out, send it away. And I need to, like, there's a little bit that I need to take with me, but I need to unpack this baggage and I really need to go through it. And this is definitely a good time because, like I was reading online, the solar eclipse casts a shadow on our lives. Is that what I wrote down? Yes, it casts a shadow on our lives. So this is about, this is all about like internally and what do you need to do. This is not an external thing. This is an internal thing. Like, what do you need to do, and what do you need to, how do you need to prepare the way so that you can plant seeds for the future? Okay, now we're going to get into this a little bit more because with this lovely Venus and Mercury, debacle is kind of what I want to say. We have a thing there too. So the lunar eclipse is a little less intense because it's more about our feelings. Okay, it's more about our emotions, but it's letting go of habits. It's letting go of fear. Because it's emotion. It's feeling. All right, the lunar eclipse, that's where that is. That's that reflection. And that's the emotional emphasis. Emotional emphasis? No, that's not what I want to say. That's the emphasis is the emotions. That's what I want to say. The emphasis for the lunar eclipse is more emotional, whereas the solar eclipse, this is just this girl's opinion, the solar eclipse is not as much about our emotions, but it's about things that we just need to take care of, which could be emotional, it could be fear-based, but the thing is, it's about like, what do we need to take care of? Do we need to take care of maybe some past debts? Do we need to take care of like organizing our, I don't know, organizing your sewing kit or working through whatever. You need to like take care of those unfinished projects, that unfinished business, so that you can move forward. And sometimes, again, this is all internal. Sometimes it's about like releasing the stuff that we've been carrying around, not necessarily feelings, but because trauma is feelings, it's not necessarily like the feelings that we see in the lunar eclipse, but this could be like understanding or letting go of trauma. And it's hard to let go of that. It is. It really is. But it's also, the solar eclipse is more about getting honest with yourself, and the lunar eclipse is more about getting right with your feelings. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. So I wanted to just touch on the fact that we do have this lovely situation with Venus and Mercury in retrograde. So there's a lot of things that are like unforgiving right now. There's a lot of miscommunication. There's a lot of fogginess. There's a injured cat in the background. Yeah, I don't know what he has been fighting with. I'm not even sure it's another cat, to be honest with you. But he came back with an injured leg again, so he's grounded. Yeah. Okay, so this is the eclipse that we have happening on Saturday, on the 29th of March 29th, 2025. This is a big deal because of Venus and Mercury being retrograde right now. So we're looking at a lot of, we are looking at the miscommunication. We are looking at a bit of unforgiveness. And I don't want to keep stressing that, but there's something about the Venus retrograde that we can turn the unforgiveness onto other people, but we can also turn it back to ourselves. So we need to watch that, just, you know, especially this weekend. So what I have is like, don't make snap judgments. Don't just say, okay, this is the way it has to be. Let's don't do that. This is not the best time to do that. Okay. With these two planets in particular, retrograde, and this solar eclipse, this is not the best time to do that. This is definitely I think that because the two planets that are retrograde are about relationships and communication, we really do need to look backwards in order to say, how do I want to move forwards? Because I know what I did wrong back there. I know what I did wrong in the past. And using your past, because I have written down some weird stuff. I mean, typed out, actually. So I have some weird stuff put out here that that you need to, in order to move forward, you need to assess, like, how did I do that in the past? Did that work out for me? If it didn't, we need to really look at this again. If it did, if it worked out fine, then maybe we still need to polish it up a little bit. Maybe that we still need to rework it. Okay. So this solar eclipse in Aries, this is the last solar eclipse that we have in the Aries Libra ecliptic. This is the last eclipse that we have in the Aries Libra ecliptic. So I think that this, like, from everything that I've read today, this is wow, I am so gifted. Seriously. This really is a good time to sit back and take a look and go, okay, what did I do 2 years ago? because 2 years ago, as I mentioned, is when we had the Aries and Libra on the ecliptic. So in 2023 is when Aries and Libra moved into the ecliptic. And now we're seeing like it's moving out because obviously North Node is in Pisces and South Node is in Virgo. So when we're looking at this, we need to look backwards and say, okay, what did I start in 2023? Where am I at this point? Am I doing a good thing? Am I still moving in the right direction? Where do I need to go and what do I need to do? And that is really the best way to address this. I mean, because really, this is a big release point. And I really like it because it's a 9-year. I've said that even just a couple of times tonight, but it's a 9-year. So this is where we're really able to say, okay, I started this project or this relationship or this whatever, this practice, this habit in 2023. Am I in a good place? Did I do it right? How did I evolve here? Did I evolve? Did I sit still? What happened? Where am I at with that? And I think that this is I really do think that this is a wonderful time for that release. Where are my notes for this in particular? This is why I write everything down instead of typing it. Okay, I'm going to find it. Give me just a second. Okay. I think I found it. What I have is that I read this somewhere on the internet, and I will tell you, I read in a few different places, but I think this particular one came from, because I wrote several different sites down, but I think this one came from foreverconscious.com. So the lady that runs that website was saying that this is a graduation point, and I do believe that. I believe because we're switching gears, we're now going from the first sign of the zodiac housing the North Node into the last sign of the zodiac housing the North Node. So that does bring about a big deal. At least for me, I think that's a huge move here. And with this cycle, with the Aries Libra ecliptic like moving out, this is where we start looking, because Libra is all about relationships, right? And Aries is all about like that front face that we show everybody. It's the first thing that everybody sees about us. It's almost like it's your rising sign, but it's not. Aries is just the first sign of the zodiac, so it's just that right out there in front. I mean, I know some of you have met people that are in Aries. You know what I'm talking about. Hey, Tiff. The thing with this is that this is definitely a time to step back and just say, what have I been doing since 2023 when we had that ecliptic in Aries and Libra? 2 years. 2 years. Where are you? Has it helped you? Has it hindered you? Where do you want to go? And I think that this is just absolutely, I think this is wonderful. I think that this is a great time to review this. This is a great time to say, okay, what did I do during that 2-year period? Did I do something great? Did it hold me back? And if it did, why? Maybe you need to look at Aries and Libra on your chart and see how the North Node and the South Node affected you during that time. And because that's also a big play here. I have a Virgo sun, and with South Node in Virgo, I am definitely feeling like a lot of things like going out versus I'm letting go of a lot more stuff than I'm bringing in. Because honestly, I feel like when the ecliptic was in Taurus and Scorpio, I don't want to say I went overboard, but I did. I went like, wow, what is going on with my internet? I went a little overboard. Okay. I dove like into the deep end, and I was just trying to put everything together. And it was a fantastic time for me because I had a lot of ideas. I had a lot of stuff going on, but not so much when it was in Aries and Libra. Like I started feeling more of that. I'm overwhelmed. I bit off more than I could chew. And now that South Node is in Virgo and North Node is in Pisces, I'm sitting back and going, okay, I can put this into my area. I can put this into my repertoire. Like this is what I can do. I know I can do this. And it's kind of freeing. It's a little, Virgo's very organized, right? I mean, judgy, whatever. But but the thing is, this is a good time, I feel like, for me, because I can feel the difference just from January. I mean, when North Node moved into Pisces from last year, I mean, god dang, I can tell a difference. But 2023 and 2024, I wouldn't say was the easiest years for me. I mean, it's been better. Yeah, it's definitely been better. 2022, at least towards the end of it, wasn't like super califragilistic, but it was still not as bad as like the last like couple of years have been. So then I want to look back and I want to take a look and see what my life was like at the last time North Node was in Aries, the last time South Node was in Libra, because it's been a minute. Yeah, because North Node is going to make its way all the way around. It's going to take a couple of years, right? So 18-ish months. Then, so South Node is obviously going to make its way around. It's going to take some time for both of those to come back into view, because probably 12 years ago, I think, is when North Node was in Virgo. And now South Node is in Virgo. So wait a minute. I just want to I pulled this up too. Okay. Here it is. I love this. Okay, so all right, the last time North Node was in Virgo was in 2015. And the next time North Node is going to be in Virgo is going to be 2034, just to give you like an indicator, right? It's about 20 years-ish. Then we have, let's see. All right, so right now we have North Node in Pisces. Can I find it? There we go. So the last time North Node was in Pisces was in 2006 and 2007. Very interesting. I have to go back and look and see what I was doing then, or to see what was happening. Because I like to look at the history of it and go, okay, so, what was going on and what's going to make things different or the same during this time frame. Yeah. Okay, I know. I'm back on the solar eclipse. Okay, so we've talked about the difference between the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse, like in terms of energetically. I do think the solar eclipse has like a much bolder energy than the lunar eclipse because, you know, the lunar eclipse is feelings. It's all feelings. And I'm not saying that some of the baggage that we're carrying around isn't feelings, but I'm saying that the solar eclipse is more, it's bold, it's bigger, it's just more. It's just more energy, it's deeper, and it can be harder. Yeah, it can be harder. I will say, and this is a direct quote from foreverconscious.com. I did like copy this and I put that this is where it came from. So that's why I'm thinking that she's the one that said that that this is like a graduation. It says, take a moment to breathe all of this in and celebrate the journey you have taken when it comes to the energies that I guess we're talking about. Journal or write it all down. Write down all the ways this energy has moved through your life and evolved to where you are today. I do think that that is a great idea. That is fantastic. Just because of the retrogrades that we have right now, I don't necessarily think that, I mean, it's not a bad time to set intentions. It's not. It's not the worst time to set intentions, but it is more of the time for us to look back at our past and maybe identify where we hit the like slow parts, what slowed us down, what helped us to speed back up on our path. What is it? Are we letting go of fear? Are we letting go of stuff? What is it that we're doing? But this is something that we need to learn from the past and bring it forward with us in the future, because we don't want to repeat the same stuff that we've done before. We don't want to do that. We don't want to be on repeat. What we want to do is we really want to focus and just say, okay, all of this solar eclipse energy is, it is a burst of energy because it's a fire sign. Aries is a fire sign, and just the first of them, I mean, and just coming strong out of the gate, right? But this is definitely something that, because we have that burst of energy, that's where we do need to say, okay, how did I handle this situation? Can I handle it better next time? Maybe. I hope so, right? I mean, like, I've already washed, a set of headphones this week. Accidentally dropped, well, my cat helped, but I'm not blaming you. Not 100%. Accidentally knocked my new iPhone into the dog's water. Whatever. I had a problem with water over the weekend, but I've replaced the headphones. It's okay. Thank you, Amazon. So I've replaced the headphones. Thank you, T-Mobile. I've replaced my phone. Thank you to the insurance that Spirit led me to buy. Yeah. Doing good. Reconvened, got all of my appointments from yesterday moved to today and late today. So we really are moving in a good direction, right? It's just a little nutty right now. Messy. Virgos don't like messy. I mean, I live in a mess, but I know where all this stuff is in this mess. So, hey, Gretchen, how are you? So, this is not a time to rush into decisions. This is not a time to make snap decisions that are going to have a lasting, I want to say like a lasting like moment, So don't rush into buying a house or building something that's going to be there for a while. This is definitely a good time for you just to sit back and go, okay, let's think about this. And again, let's look at some past experiences. Every single website that I looked at today, every single website, well, yesterday, because you really couldn't take appointments yesterday. Yay. But every single website that I looked at yesterday and was taking notes on and stuff, they all said the same thing. That the thing that we need to pay attention to in particular in this solar eclipse is about our past. Do we feel like our past is chasing us? Do we need to release something of our past? Do we need to learn something about our past? Like, let's put that into perspective here. I want to make sure that I hit all of the little highlights that I had. Yeah. And this is also a great time to put up boundaries. This is a fantastic time to put up boundaries because we are like that lady said on Forever Conscious. She said something about this is a graduation period, and it is. So if you're not wanting to go back and you're like, that did not work for me in the past, I'm not going to bring that forward with me. So now's a good time to put up that boundary, right? Now's a good time to say, it's fine if you want to do that over there or away from me or whatever. But I'm not in a place of tolerating that kind of behavior anymore. I'm not in a place of putting up with that. I know. Since I cussed the first minute of the show, I figure I'll not do it. I'm trying not to do it the rest of the show. I mean, I'm so delightful, really. Oh my gosh, did I close that? I did. Okay, I have to find my notes. So I want to go back to the difference between the lunar and the solar eclipse. Seriously, and I have Ganesh sitting on my computer. You know, I tell you, maybe I need to put another one on there. This again, these retrogrades, messy. We just have to get to April 7th. Mercury will be direct. And then April 12th, Venus will be direct. I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to the end of the month of April because we'll be out of the shadow period of both of those fun-filled planets. I mean, really. And I cannot take another, and I posted a video about this on YouTube and TikTok. I cannot take another phone call about people's exes calling them. Do not return to your ex during retrograde, during Mercury or Venus. We don't want to do that. Please don't do that. I mean, unless you just want to pay someone like me or a therapist a lot of money, because that's what you're going to do. That's an investment. That's what you're doing. You're investing. You're investing in my kids' college fund. Yeah. I'm just saying. Okay, so just to recap with the solar and the lunar eclipse. The solar eclipse is, I feel like it's a stronger energy. The solar eclipse is about taking care of unfinished business, unfinished projects, unfinished plans, things that would hold you back. And it can be mental, it can be physical, but it's things that are like holding you back. What is holding you back? What kind of unfinished business? I mean, do you need to take care of? Do you need to like mentally return to the 3rd grade and like tie something up in a bow? I mean, what do you need to do in order to move forward? So this is definitely a time of getting honest with yourself, of being real clear with yourself and saying, this is what I want for my future. This is what I want for my future. I don't want to carry all this baggage with me. Maybe a little bit of it, but carry the good memories, not necessarily the baggage. So then the lunar eclipse is all about feelings. Yeah, it's all about the feelings with the moon. Yeah, the feelings, and it's all about fears, habits, like situations that just plague you. The lunar eclipse is about releasing those things or just dealing with them. Because again, these eclipse energies are wanting to help you to move forward. They're chaos energy for sure. For sure. But have you ever cleaned out a closet? I mean, I know some of the people in this chat. Have you ever cleaned out a closet? When you clean out a closet, it looks like a tornado came through that room or your house, because that's what I'm doing right now. It looks like a huge unholy mess, right? But that's what you have to do. You have to create the chaos so that you can put it back together in a neat way. And really, that's what the lunar eclipse is. And to some degree, the solar eclipse is not as emotional as the lunar eclipse, but it is about like taking things apart and just going, okay, this needs to be taken care of. With the solar eclipse, this needs to be finished. I need to finish this and so that I can move forward. I need to let this go so that I can move forward. This is my personal business. This is my, again, your projects, your money, or it's just something that has to do with you personally. It's internal. It's you. Then we have the emotional part, which is also internal with the lunar eclipse. And that's all about that emotional stuff. I mean, how you feel. What are you afraid of? What is this touching my leg? It's my astrology calendar. Thank you, Llewellyn's. This is an awesome calendar. But it's all about your fears, your habits. What is it that you need to release? And I will tell you, right after that lunar eclipse, I started a new diet because I have been eating my feelings for a while. I think since the delightfulness of North Node in Aries hit in 2023, I have started eating my feelings again. Isn't that precious? Yeah. So then it triggered a whole bunch of stuff in my body where a lot of inflammation, and, you know, that's when you start getting diagnosed with autoimmune. And that's not how I want to live my life. Yeah. So we're making those changes, making some habit changes with the lunar eclipse and my feelings. And the solar eclipse, I'm sitting back and going, okay, what do I need to do? What is my unfinished business? My unfinished business is going back to the doctor. You know, I got to tell you, doctors can be kind of scary sometimes, because I'm like, I don't want to go in there and have them tell me that I am a train wreck. But if I take care of it, then maybe my body won't be a train wreck. You know, it's a hard situation to be in. Does anybody else? Is it just me? I mean, it could be just me. And that's fine. That's fine if it's just me. I'm just a little, yeah. Okay, so we covered that with the eclipses. Sorry, it has been a long day. Take a look too at your chart and see where your north node is. The things that are really, really important in your chart, to be honest with you, for me personally, when I look at people's charts, I look at the ascendant, I look at the north node, I look at where Saturn is, and I look at the midheaven. Then I go back and I start dissecting some of the other things, like, okay, the moon, how do they deal with the emotions? If there's any squares in the chart, if there's a mystical rectangle, I look for those things after I sit back and assess and go, where's north node? Where's their ascendant? Where is Saturn and where's their midheaven? And then I go back and I sort of like dissect some of the other stuff. And I don't really know what brought me to this. I know that one of the astrology classes I took, it was a 9-month-long astrology class. And I took that astrology class. It was a deep dive. And she kept saying how important it was to see where Saturn was in the chart, that was the most important thing as to her. And I do get that. It is important to see where Saturn is in the chart. I do find that I need to see where North Node is, and I need to see their ascendant. And a lot of people don't know when they were born. And I've had this with clients that are adopted, and they just don't know the time of birth. And that's okay, but you can make a guess. You really can, especially after you do a couple of readings for them. Yeah, Gretchen, it's not pleasant. Like, oh my gosh, Tiffany says it too. Love-hate relationship with going to the doctor. Yeah, and I'm talking to a nurse and a pharmacist here. I'm like, okay, am I going to get a doctor that's going to listen to me? Am I going to get one that I can communicate with? Are they going to think that I'm crazy? Well, probably. But, I don't like willy-nilly just like going into a physician's office and having them dismiss me, because that has happened. But that could be classified as a fear that I need to let go of. I'm sorry. It really has. It's been a long day, but I know I'm probably not the only one, because again, this is a messy retrograde period. What else was I going to say? I was going to say there was so much. I felt like there was so much more I was going to say, because when I practiced my little like talk for today, it went on very lengthy. Yeah. But North and South Node move every 18 months-ish. So depending on when they move, like this time, North Node moved in January. So we're already seeing, like, we had a lunar eclipse in Virgo already. And this solar eclipse that we have at the new moon in Aries on Saturday, the 29th, is the last of it with the Virgo Aries, like, ecliptic. But when North Node moved into Aries, it wasn't until April of 2023. So because it sort of moved, it was like right around eclipse season, because, eclipses, they move like on the calendar a bit. And because a few years ago, when I was talking so hard about how bad it was for Taurus and Scorpio in 2021 and 2022, when I was just like, oh my gosh, this is a challenging time for our friends the Scorpios. And it's South Node was in Scorpio at that time, but I think that had 4, like, I think it had 2 full years of eclipses with those two. And it was also later in the year. I mean, because that last eclipse in Scorpio and Taurus, I think it was in October. And see, now you're going to see the eclipses in September, later this year. Yeah, 6 months from now, September. So this eclipse, like a lot of times when I talk about the moons and I'm like, hey, look at this new moon in Pisces, and then let's take a look at where you are with the full moon in Pisces in 6 months. That sometimes is a really, it's a good way to look at things. It's a good way to measure. It's a good way to say, I want to manifest this by the time I hit the full moon in Pisces, you know, if we're in a new moon in Pisces. But with the solar eclipse, it's a really good time to just look back and just say, okay, I see where I messed up there. I learned some lessons. Now let's move forward with it. Let's just say, okay, I got it. I learned some lessons and move forward. It's a fantastic time. It is. And I will tell you right now, the work that I'm doing for this solar eclipse, I'm starting it on Friday night because the solar eclipse, the new moon in Aries, hits its peak at 6:58 a.m. on the 29th, on Saturday. And I am hoping that my kids let me sleep a little late this Saturday. It may not happen. It's a pipe dream, but you know, we'll see. Right? Right? Okay, did I cover everything? I feel like I covered everything. It's just in my practice session. I call them my practice rants. It went a little long, so I don't know how I finished a little early now. But I do think that this is a powerful one. It really is, because we are literally moving into the last of the zodiac signs from the first. And I mean, because Aries is so bold, is so out there, and we're going from a fire sign into a water sign, and the first zodiac sign, Aries, into the last of the zodiac signs, Pisces. And I think this is a pretty intense one. And then we couple it with Venus and Mercury in retrograde. I mean, damn. I mean, this is just like, come on. It's just heaps is what it is. It's big. And it's okay. It's going to be okay. Yeah. Because once you understand what's going on, it makes it easier to deal with the problem. At least it does for me. Yes, it has. Yes, it has, Tiffany. I mean, as I mentioned, the debacle with washing in the washing machine headphones and dropping, or rather knocking off the counter, Mercury, knocking my phone off the well, it's not a counter, it's a bookshelf, into the dog's water. I realized I shouldn't have set my phone there, but I was trying to put the dog's water down. And Mercury has taken over Jasmine's dog bed in my office, in the cottage. So I had to replace that. I had to put a new dog bed down here because Mercury won't let Jasmine have it back. She's a little cat. Jasmine is a big dog. Yeah. Then, oh, this is fun too. So we went roller skating. You know, I love to roller skate. So I kept feeling like my wheels just kept feeling really funny. And I was like, what is wrong with my skate? This is so strange. It feels really slick. It feels like there's oil or something on my wheels. No. Two of my wheels were cracked, and one of them flew off my skate while I was roller skating. Yeah, that was precious. That was precious. I have a picture of it, and I have a picture of me taking apart my skates that I had when I was 11-ish, 10 or 11. I can't wear those skates anymore because after having children, my feet have gotten wider, so I can't wear those skates anymore. So I took the wheels off of those skates and put them on my newer skates. I didn't do it. Dr. Seuss did it, but he did a really good job. So now I have skates again. Yeah, it's good. So I was very happy. I was like, okay. And because that is a lot of exercise for me. Just want to let you know that is good cardio. Thank you. Yes. I mean, the wheel came off while I was skating. That is bizarre, is what that is. And I feel like there's something tickling me. I thought I might have this available. You could see it, but I don't know how to bring it to the I don't know how to bring it to the computer. So, yeah. Oh, and for those of you that may know, I have a booth with my mom, and we moved booths this weekend, so that was really good. And actually, we moved booths before the weekend, but that was also a mess. But it's a great setup, so that was fun. Just trying to see what. All right. I don't know. I don't have it. Maybe I'll post it on Instagram because I'm getting into trouble for not posting on Instagram as much. Yeah, I know. I'm going to get scolded by the people that are helping me. I mean, I tell them I'm sorry all the time, and they're like, but it's your business. You don't have to apologize. And I'm like, well, then stop scolding me. I mean, I know I need to post more. I'm not in that yet. All right. Well, I won't keep you guys any further. I know I've run the gamut tonight, but it's okay. Solar eclipse energy, really. And it is a wonderful time to clear things up. This is a great time to clear things up. Oh, that's something. So what I did is I took some mugwort and some sage, and I put it in a bowl. And I wrote down these two people's names on tiny pieces of paper, and I put it all together and burned it, and it cleared them. Something new. Yeah. So I took some mugwort and some sage, and I wrote the people's names down on two separate tiny little slips. I mixed it up in the mugwort and the sage, and I burned it. And when it burned down to ash, I put some salt with it, and I really, really cleared it out. And now I have some different black salt. But yeah, it's fantastic. It was fantastic. It cleared them. So that was confirmed because the lady on the note didn't know I had done it. And she goes, oh my gosh, I woke up and I felt so refreshed. I felt like something had been lifted. And I was like, yes, I'm in it. So there you have it. So if you want to do a quick clearing during this solar eclipse energy, It was really awesome. It was something that was totally divinely guided. It wasn't in a book. It wasn't in anything I had like looked up or anything, but it was, I had pieces of mugwort, I had pieces of sage, and I just put it together with their names, mixed it up, and then I burned it all together, and then I put salt on it so that it really cleared everything. And I think I'm going to do it again for them because, you know, sometimes it's okay to go back and clear again. Yeah. So let me know what you guys think about that. All right. But and I don't. I'm not married to the fact that you have to use mugwort, but I just liked the mugwort combination with sage. It just felt right. So again, it was just a divinely guided little quick practice, a little quick cleanse, and it seems to have worked. Again, I got confirmation the next day. So I felt like, oh yeah, this is good. So I'm going to do it again for them. And I am going to be doing some clearings for this solar eclipse. So I have a list of people and places that I clear on a routine basis. And if you want to be added to that list, you can email me at this email address before Friday, the 28th. Or you can leave a comment below if you're watching this in the reruns. Again, before the 28th, okay? I mean, the eclipse is on the 29th, so we got a timeline here. And if you're watching it after the 29th, that's okay. You can do your own clearing, do the mugwort sage thing, see if that works for you. I don't know why I'm so washed out tonight, and I'm also burning up because, hey, menopause is super fun. You should all join me here. Yeah, love the hot flashes. I've got a fan going. I'm sitting here in shorts and a t-shirt. The cat is laying, like, she thinks the heater's on. She's like laying as close to the heater as she possibly can get. I'm like, no, the heater's not going to be on. No. So anyway, I hope you great solar eclipse, new moon in Aries. Yeah. And until we see each other again, what are you going to do? Get out there and make your magic. Bye.